Hello everyone and welcome to Excited Looking channel. So last time in my learning journey of C++, I have basically completed the pointers. This is more like a recap video because in between we have done more of a like I think the nine project. We have completed nine projects in between. So I think maybe we should go through all the last concepts that we have done. So that is what we are doing right now. So as you can see, we are actually trying to recap our all the learnings. So let's start it without wasting any time. So last time, what I have learned is basically what are the pointers. So the basic thing that I came to, you can say, learn about pointers are it is nothing but just a variable that stores the address for any type of you can say element functions or anything else. So this is what a variable is. And also let's say if we create a variable x with a value of 3 and so the how to create a pointer p for you can say x is first we are going to create a same data type pointer. Basically pointer is created by putting a asterisk sign. So of course, asterisk can be anywhere. Basically, it can be towards the data type in between and also toward the variable type. But later I came to know that okay, maybe the best practice is that we put the asterisk sign with the data type, and also we must separate the assigning of, or you can say the the declaration of variable separately, uh, not in the same line as variables. That is what I learned actually. Basically, what I am trying to say here is that we must refrain ourselves from doing something like okay, I say let's say p comma x. So in this situation, as you know, there is quite some confusion here, and that is you don't know what is whether p is a pointer or not, and also whether x is a pointer or a variable. So this kind of things is what creates the confusion. And also I came to know that the first variable that we define with the sticks is actually a pointer, but the left is just a integer value. So this is what we should avoid. And later I get to know that okay, we can you can say we can also create a pointer for a pointer. Basically, we can create you can say pointer to pointer relation, and we can dereference this by putting you can say as you can see by putting two asterisk sign and to reach the value of basically x. So this is what we can say dereferencing in pointers. And also, I get to know that okay, what an array is and what are the arithmetic that is happening in the pointer value. So array is nothing but just you can say also a pointer. How the array is stored is actually like this. The first value is the value of ARR. So ARR is a, as you can see here, array is actually a constant pointer to the first element. That means this ARR variable is storing the position of the variable value 10 in the memory, and the further things are like this. Okay, 20th value will be on the position of, you can say the, let's say x, let's say 10 takes 4 variable 4 bit of space, so the 20 will be stored from 4 bit away from the 10. So in the similar way 30 will be stored 4 bit away from the 20. So this is how basically how array is created. And what are the pointer basically pointer arithmetic is when we try to run this program, and after looking at the output you get to see everything clearly that first element of the array is just 10, and that can be achieved by simply saying okay star p1. But there is also one thing that you need to keep in mind that uh, when we are talking about the second element, that is 20, as you can see, the 20 is basically stored the 4 bit away from the location of 10, and this can be cleared here in a similar way that is happening again and again. So this is something that I will say, okay, you should keep it that in mind. And then comes the value here. You can see P3 when we subtract two pointers, which basically points to the same array but different values. So let's say P3 is the P3 pointer stores the value for the first element, and P4 pointer stores the value of fourth index element, basically 40 here, 0, 1, 2, 3, sorry, 50 here. Then when we subtract these values, basically it will tell us that how much you can say how much where is the index, what is the index of the last element, or you can say what is the difference between the indexes of the pointers P3 and P4. So this is what we have learned actually last time. So it's more of a like you can say recap video rather than I will say proper learning sharing. Of course, it is also a part of my learning. So that's all. And also, the last time we have actually seen many things like what are different things. Okay, let me just share you the screen in which I can show you my roadmap again. Explorers, intermediate, complete learning flow with levels. Okay, let me just check what this name is. Complete learning flow. Right. Okay, complete learning flow. So as you can see, this is the learning path of mine. So up until now, we have actually completed all this beginner level stuff. Like we have completed till this strings value, and in the pointers we have basically covered everything. But rather than this null pointer, and that's all that is left. And basically, null pointer is nothing but when we are not sure what to assign to the particular location for a pointer, and then we create a you can say pseudo pointer or you can say empty pointer, and we assign it the data type null ptr. So basically, this is how we create a null pointer. And the next things in the intermediate level is the referencing of variable and dereferencing the variables with pointers. Of course, we have seen that too here. And the only thing that is left to us is this you can say structures and unions at the dynamic memory location. So we are going to start with structure, struct, and accessing the members and also nested structures. So basically, we are going to see the structures about structures and union, and then we are going to move to the you can say dynamic memory allocation. And after that, basically, we are also going to do some projects. Basically, more like 4 to 8 projects, maybe yeah, 6 to 8, yeah, 6 to 8 projects. We are going to do that. Let me check how many projects are needed. It says okay, intermediate level takes 8 to 10 projects recommended. So let's target you can say 10 projects. We are going to do 10 projects based on all the you can say learning like best beginner plus intermediate level. That's all. So as you can see here, this is what you can see. The intermediate level focus on memory management and dynamic arrays. So this is what I am focusing on for the intermediate level, and this is advanced level that we are going to type into later. So that's all for now. Hope let's meet in the next video. Till then, have a safe day. Have a good day. Thank you.